Victor was very much enthusiastic about this car. Well, however, my story is a bit different. When I was a little girl, that happened in the 80s, I remember we had Mercedes at home. That was the famous W124. And my father was entrepreneur at that time, and I remember him saying that he wished very much that just once in his life he could have enough money to go to the store and buy a car like this for himself. This is the one. To continue, our old Mercedes was sold when it was, I think, 10 years old, and it only has 40,000 kilometers. Yeah, not very much. But what I also remember is my mother and I didn't like it so much. It just didn't feel right. So what I'm interested now is how this one's gonna feel like.
The differences are obvious. No, this car isn't so much bigger, but it's definitely a lot more elegant. At least as far as I'm concerned, these shapes are far ahead of other German competitors. A car for managers then, but it's pretty fitting for a vehicle like this. You can configure it however you want, or at least however your wallet allows. LED headlights, radar cruise control, alloys. This stuff is pretty standard, but just look at the rear and how aerodynamic it is. The funny thing is the competition is angry because whenever they make very aerodynamic car, it looks a lot like a Mercedes. The similarities with our old Mercedes are gone. Leather-wrapped steering wheel, digital instruments, and
what I really don't like in most cars is the shiny wood paneling. It gets dirty very easily and it's very hard to clean it. But this one, you can see it's not shiny and it has very pleasant texture, and it works very luxury.
You definitely won't see fingerprints on this. I have to stop and mention the little touchscreen on the center console. I don't find it practical, not in this nor the other brands. I prefer a rotating button which, when you get used to it, allows you to zoom through the settings without taking your eyes off the road. Props go to the center console buttons, which are nice to the touch. A Mercedes specialty is also the steering wheel gear lever. A little annoying at the beginning, but you get used to it. Another curiosity is the electronic handbrake switch next to the steering wheel. This is a nod to the older Mercedes car, which had a foot-operated handbrake. The car has USB outlets as well as an SD card slot, which I found very important. I won't waste word talking about its quality. I'm already liking this car a lot. In order to keep the rearview camera clean, it hides itself. See BMW? It's easy. Victor was praising the 9-speed automatic before. At 130 km per hour, the engine will be at around 1400 RPM, while the interior will be extremely quiet.
There is nothing bad to say about driving this car. But what I found it interesting is the cruise control system. Now, you know the systems from other vehicles, you know, when car can actually stop if the obstacles come on your way. Now, but Mercedes engineers improved the systems. So the car can actually read the signs, but others can do it too. But this car can also adapt the speed according to these signs. Now look, it's reducing now. By itself. I like it.
It's great. The engine develops 194 horsepower. Perhaps it doesn't sound like a lot, but it does reach 240 kilometers per hour. The average consumption we reached was between 3.6 and 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers. Not bad, huh? The price for 220 diesel starts at 50,000 euros.